Hey everyone, it's Matt along with Goo, and today we're going to talk about Starry Night Ashlynn. So stay tuned. Alright. Starry Night Ashlynn. Her main ability is she is a defender. Her intrinsic is selflessness for the first three turns, which is wonderful because it allows you to do other things other than just cast selflessness in RTA and Guild Wars. And this is where you're basically going to use her the most. You will also occasionally use her in PvE when you really need a crack physical type and a defender. All in all, she's a little niche, but definitely worth her weight in gold in certain tactics if you're playing in higher level PvP and Guild Wars. Her first skill, Free Shot, is a very unique skill because we just haven't had that much crack physical damage lately. Yes, Santa Elena is coming back, and that's another crack damage. But as I say, Crackle is by far the least, at least in my mind, the least used element in Dragon Quest Tact, and it is a little annoying. On top of it, it can paralyze as well. So this is actually a really good skill. Second skill, the Holy Knight Miracle, raises attack and reduces damage taken by 20% for all allies for 3 turns. And to be quite honest, this is another really, really good skill. And hence why she is really good for these events. She can do her first skill automatically, and as a hero, it's great for Guild Wars because you can't add the skill. It has something that keeps her back if you want to play a more uh, clammy defense and just be avoid as much as possible and reducing damage taken by 20% is a pretty large annoyance to get around, especially with the 3 turn if you can build your team well enough for a turtle build. The last one, Stellar Rang, is a 150% crack and physical damage to all enemies. And, being able to do both Frizz and Sizz is pretty, sorry, crack and Sizz is a very good skill. And once again, it has a pretty large range as well. Um, Her first awakening skill, move +1, always good. Then Frizz and Sam resistance. Third one, when attacked by an enemy, restore 10 HP and 8 MP back. Um, this is kind of where you want to max her out if you're going to go for her fairly hardcore. Her fifth one is max HP +100, which normally people are like, as a defender, this does make by far the most sense. It's a pretty good bonus, but only the highest of the high will go for her starting off with. That max HP +100 is more for when she comes into the normal usage a little later. Uh, for her stats, her HP is actually a little low. Remember that 1290 is with that +100 for the fifth. And this is kind of her biggest weakness. She has very high attack and defense and good agility with the possible movement of 3. Her weight is 60, just like a hero. But the big issue I have is with the defender that her HP is really, really low. So the weapon here is the Kaseki sword. I put it there because this is the weapon that's for her event. I'm not going to do an event. It's just too small. It's only going to last 10 days, the way that we've been doing it here at Global. It's strength 17 and HP 54. It has physical power for both normal and brilliant, HP and agility. Personally, the one thing is she recovers 125 HP when you attack physically. And that's a useful thing for her because kind of a regen tank. Personally, I would just give her whatever HP that you can. With the defense of 507, the ability to take 20% off her damage, plus that normal 30, basically giving you 50%, nearly 50% off of all damage being taken. Um, Giving her an additional 200 HP is actually going to be huge because, as I say, at that point it's really 400. And going up to almost 1500 HP is going to make her very hard to kill, especially when she can regen her 10% for HP, which is 150 HP each time she gets hit at that point, etc. So just go for HP for her. That's really what you're going to give with that. Her leadership effect is increased hero defense by 30%. Not the greatest, but once again, the one thing you can kind of build on is if your Guild Wars defense is heroes, an extra 30% defense just gives you that huge turtle defense type. But honestly, not. I'm thinking I've not seen a hero defense in the upper levels of GVG, so this is not that useful. Now, her shooting star is can be turned to, and if she's near death, she could basically regen everything back with this. Deals 120% potency 4 times. So with her, this is going to do not a great deal of damage, but you're talking about 800 damage overall, and that heals 100% of Ashlynn Delta. This is assuming that you're maxed level without giving her a great deal of attack. It could get a little higher on that with a high attack weapon. But as I say, with her, you want that HP just so she can cycle more and more, and it'll just be harder for her to kill. This is actually really useful because generally, we're going to go back real quick here. Her first turn's almost always Holy Knight Miracle, which raises attack and reduces damage for 3 turns. And so her second skill can be Shooting Star right off the bat. And so this is actually a skill that can be used quickly to take down an enemy to regain your HP and to make her really hard to kill. For pros cons, Twinkle Shield, which is basically what this just her selflessness for the first 3 turns for covering. That ultimate move is well done for her. It's not the most powerful move, but for her, she is about tanking, and because she is selfless, turn 2 is really, really useful. And as I say, she's a supporter plus damage, and because the cover takes innate only for 3 turns, but still innate, that does really, really help. She has that 20% damage mitigation, but with her low HP, she needs just a little bit more to be really, really good. So this is kind of, you're going to go, but man, she's got that 20%. Yes, I understand. But with her right now, she doesn't quite have enough HP or the innate damage mitigation to really, really, really shine. The big issue that I have is with her being a cover tank. That 1290 using a wide area of skills is just not enough, and that's with 5 awakenings. She can get killed fairly easily if you're facing a very high AoE team that she's trying to cover. Generally, though, especially if you're doing a defense, a high AoE team like that has lower HP, and you could still kind of use it to your advantage. But as I say, she does have that pretty strong weakness, is that HP. Remember, Rose Garden, HP is lower than hers, but it's at half of the weight cost, and that's the big deal. Is the combination of 60 weight and okay, they're not the same elements, fair, but just from a basic standpoint, she's very expensive and not getting enough boost, at least from what I'd say from a cover tank standpoint. She's more of a supporter that can cover tank, and maybe is more useful if you take that with like a forest dragon and then separate them and have two different cover tanks. Like doing a real turtle. Uh, as just an example. But with her, she can be also used as a good forward unit to help maybe protect one other unit, go forward, and try to take out things, etc., etc. But she's niche, and so that's why I'm not going to really be pulling for her. Rose Garden, as I say, might be better for RTA just because of the weight difference, 35 versus 60. Um, but if we ever get some, like for um, the real time can be a little scary because you can't counter Starry Night Ashlynn, and this is where I'm going to see. We're going to see the most use out of her is the real time arena. Um, you can build teams around Ashlynn for real time arena for like, especially if you aren't going to see the same person again for a while. Um, Once you get to the super high end, though, you might start seeing like Starry Night Ashlynn will come in for one turn, then they'll come back because you face the same person or group of people over and over again. Generally, then she'll start spouting off less. But for mid to upper tier, you'll start seeing a lot of her too for that, just because unless if you have that high damage team to take her out quickly, she can stay alive for a very long time, and that can be enough, as I say, for a very annoying 10-turn victory for in the RTAs. So, arena unit primarily can be used a little bit for PVE, but for really long battles, she doesn't really help because she only has the 3 turns. And generally, when you're looking PVE, that's the thing that you care about most. The A symbol unit, which they don't really explain anymore, is Moon Chimaera. Personally, this is actually an important A unit, Zamforce. Now we have Zamforce instead of just Barbaros for our Dragon family. That's an innate cover that it has. The Zamforce here can be used with Moon Chimera at basically at 35 weights. Um, Very dark based. Can increase nature spell power by 10% for the leadership effect, which not really all that useful. As a unit itself, the Zamforce is the main importance for the Moon Chimera. Its HP is decent, but its defense is incredibly low. It can do some decent spell damage with its Moon Kazam. Um, and sorry, it's and Dark Breath is not zap damage. It's Zam. Sorry. Um, it's it got auto corrected. I apologize. All the zap here, Sam. But more importantly, um, it can lower zap resistance. It can do some spell damage with Zam. But most importantly, it's the Zam force. Um, it does have get increased movement, spell resist, and has a weird ability for confusion in the Third Awakening. But really, all you care about is Zam Force. The only thing I don't like about Moon Chimera is it's an okay unit. It's not even really that okay of a unit. It's super specialized in that regards. But Zam Force is an incredibly important spell, and getting 8 tickets is not super expensive, and focusing on just getting one Moon Chimera is kind of important for a lot of people in PvP, so forth. Or it can even be useful for PvE if you're doing a cover tank that just needs a little bit more help on Sam. because Zam skills are used an awful lot in the big PVE battles, and so that can be very useful to help protect your cover tank uh, as well. So I hope you guys enjoy. I do apologize. I hurt my back, so I haven't really been able to sit in this chair very much without a lot of pain. Um, I am getting better, and I will try to post more again. But I hope you guys do enjoy. After this, we are going to get our next banner, which is going to be very, very important. And I will be start covering those units probably early next week. So I hope you guys enjoy, but more importantly, stay safe and